Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, November 18th, 2023, and we're here with live chat. Normally today I would be here with Kevin. Kevin's not feeling really good or might be getting something cold or something like that. Not anything hopefully serious, but I decided not to go over because number one, he's not feeling his best, and number two, because I have so much stuff on my agenda that I don't want to be getting sick now. So that's why I'm at home. I'm only going to stay on here for a few minutes. I don't know. We'll see how long a few minutes turn into. I am just going to make some half square triangles with you guys. Today I should be sewing on my Wensleydale. I kind of figured last night that we weren't going to be meeting, so I did not even get my Wensleydale stuff sorted out, so I don't have it. So, all right, I'm going to be talking about those two, but not all the patterns. And I got that sheet. I have not been in this room since Saturday, so I'm just trying to see if I can like glance and find my Wensleydale pieces. I have not sewn on those since I last was at Kevin's, came back from Kevin's place. So I have no idea. I'm just looking to see if they're here. I haven't even looked in my container yet. I'm just seeing if I put them back here to sew. This needs to go with me out of town. Sit it right there. Whoops. Just had scraps fall out of this bag. These look like my cut pieces for the Wensleydale. So I got part of them, and I don't know why these. I was sorting scraps one day, and I'm not quite sure. Just trying to see if they're here. These are things I use to tie up fabric bundles and anything else I want contained. But I don't see the blocks that I made. I think these are extra pieces that I cut, making too many blocks. That's what I think this is. So this is not my Wensleydale stuff. Okay. This is packing paper. This is all those fat quarter bundles from the Tula Pink stuff I got that I showed you on Wednesday. So let's see who's here. All right. So we've got Zandra here saying hi, T and everyone. Diane McCoy, hey T and Quilters. Susie K said, oh my goodness, I made a laugh from the very, very beginning, Miss T, laughing out loud. Sue Allen says, hey T and T Quilters. Maddie Barnum saying hi, T. And Emily Zahoot say hi, T&T Quilters. Greenland Quilter Katie says, hey, hiya T. How are you doing, girl? Still busy. Just got stuff on my agenda, that's all. Diane McCoy says, T, how do you keep everything organized? I don't. And Cynthia says, hi, T. Cynthia Maria Field says, hi, T. Kevin sewing my girlfriend. Hi, T. Kevin sewing my girlfriend something. Sewing my quilt for a girlfriend. Give a thumbs up. So thank you. She's reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. And oh, Katie talking about I want you on my agenda. Girl, it's a mess. I know. I saw your email. Um ugh. I'm trying to see if I like laid the pieces in here somewhere, but like I said, I don't even have my container in here for my Wensleydale, which they should be in the container. But we can make some half square triangles. I need plenty of them, and I just dropped a set off my tray. There better be plenty more of these somewhere. Everything on my tray must have gotten scooted on the counter over there. Yeah. I'm like, there should be a lot more of those. All right. And Sandra says, I hope Kevin feel better soon. Yeah. Like I said, he's been moving around doing stuff, but he should be okay. We're just making sure. Quilts by Carmel. Hey, Miss T and Auntie Quilt, just listening while working. Yay! So, I just wanted to say, when we were on here Wednesday, we were talking about the fabulous patterns, and I'll mention it again tonight. I did get those 7 in from Checkers, and I'm gonna see if I can get more from the actual author. I'm gonna contact her via email. So I'm gonna contact her and see if we can get more, because I got 8 patterns and I have 11. Let me see, 11 people right now, and maybe 12, because I had somebody else ask, and then somebody else probably wants it and haven't mentioned it because they know all the 8 were taken. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. I'm gonna contact her by email. The other patterns came today. I just wanted to make sure I got the 7 from Checkers, because sometimes they put me on back order and then they say they got 7, or they say they got something and then it's back ordered. So I wanted to make sure before I contacted her so I know what my number is. We're still doing the Dresden Village Sew Along. That's going to start in January. This is for the more advanced quilters. This one here is for all quilters. It's going to be a challenge. Nothing is easy. You got to work for everything that you want. Nothing's going to be easy, but it's for to keep the intermediate people interested in the project, and at the same time, maybe you beginners or near beginners, like you've been quilting a year, it will give you some skills sets on making different types of units that go into blocks. So that's what the purpose of this is. I don't want to give you something that's super easy, not challenging at all, and that when you go to sew it, it's like you're making the same block for 8 months. No, we want to give you more of a challenge than that. Otherwise, it's a one-day sew along if we're only doing one block or something super simple like that. Joe Carmel saying she's 1 in on the fabulous sew along, so I'm gonna add her name Like I said, I'm just trying to get names so I know how many patterns to get, because I don't want to over purchase. I've just always loved Charisma Horton's quilts, and the only thing that is weird about them for me is that she mostly used like true solids, or she'll use like a tone on tone that still appears to look like a solid. So I'm interested in at least making one, because I don't think I've ever made a quilt that was all solids. So I want to make one that's all solids, and then I got others of her patterns that maybe I can try some tone on tones, and then I got maybe another pattern that I can try just mixing up whatever fabrics I want to mix. So I want to see how they work out in other fabrics as well. But I have never done a solid quilt. Oh, and I need to write, I had counted Jason in my head, which is actually 13. I'm going to say 13 because I got an A up here. So I'll just read these names for people as you see this video. It's me, Remo, Kim R, Bonita, Joanne Lucas, Deborah Sims Brown, Dolores Phelps, Joy Creations, Darcy Savali, Vivian Cavey, Minnie Dula. I didn't even put her last name. And Joe Carmel and Jason. So Jason was on here. He had told me Thursday. He said, I didn't even say anything because you already sold out. But I am going to try to get more patterns from the designer. It's just easier for me to order via Checkers. I don't have to worry about paying shipping on patterns, because when I go to the designer, then all the price point things change because they don't want to be responsible for shipping. So it all changes. Checkers is used to getting probably a bulk type shipping set up because of how much they ship, how big their company is. They get more discounts than we can get. Fabric requirements, or most of the fabrics on here, I'm not going to give everything, but I'll just say they range from 7/8 of a yard to your background fabrics being 3 3/4 yard. So your background fabrics. But I'm not going to go through all of that. And it's not as many fabrics as I thought it would be. It's enough, but it's not as many as I thought. I thought it was going to be one of those quilts just looking at it like I'm going to need 30 different fabrics, and it's not. I don't know if it's in PDF format, Katie. I can ask her. I'll put a note on here when I send my email. I'll just put an error over here because I don't want to mess up where I'm making my list. I don't know if she'll be willing to do that. Most times when they sell PDF formats, they're still the same price. I think this pattern was $32. So I would ask her for people that are in other countries if she'd be willing to sell me so many PDFs and then stick to that number, not sell any more. Because that's the reason why people don't want to do PDFs, because then they have no control over who you send it to. So I fully understand if she says no, or if she wants to add the PDFs to my bill and then she can email them directly to you, I'm okay with that as well. So I'll see if she's willing to do either of those scenarios. The real Queen T, I think I have everybody else's email address except for yours. So can you email me at teaquilts@teaquilts.com, because when I send out invoice, I'm just going to be sending out bulk invoices when I get ready. And I don't know who you are. So I'm going to put an asterisk by here if I don't get an email from you. then I'm just going to not include you when I order, because I don't want to order too many patterns and then I'm sitting on patterns that I can't sell since I don't know your email. Ah, I'm almost wondering, are you from Illinois? Now that I'm thinking about it. And how do I get info on your retreats? Okay, quilt retreat. I do have one space for a commuter. If you're the person that I think you are, Jason gave me some information Thursday, and I have been busy. I have been trying to get quilting done for my customers, and so I have not done any desk work. I haven't even recorded payments for the people that paid after I went to Houston for the quilt show. I'm still working on. I'm not working on it because I haven't done it, because I'm trying to get people's quilts out. I had people that do charity quilts for kids that they give them out for Christmas quilts, Christmas presents. So I needed to get some of those done. And I'm working on some of my other customers' quilts right now, trying to get stuff done so that if they wanted to give those out at Christmas, they could. So I'm kind of working on stuff like that. And everything else that's coming up. I'm still trying to schedule the 2025 retreat, getting information for that. I'm in the process of working to figure out our bus route for the 2024 retreat. So I've just been busy, but I do have one commuter spot available in the 2024 retreat. A commuter spot means that you have no place to stay. So if you live in Metro St. Louis or Illinois area, the metropolitan St. Louis area is what I call it. Anything that's within, say, 45 minutes to an hour for me is Metro. And you want to go home every night and just come back every day, you can do that. I have a spot available for that for the 2024 retreat. I had one person cancel due to family illness, and the reason why there isn't a room available is because it's a male, and matter of fact, I think at retreat it still might be a minor male, so I don't want to put anybody else that I don't know in a room with him, even a male, and then I don't want to definitely put a female and a male in the same room. So I have no room available, but I have a table available, and I have to have all of this stuff filled, um, so that I can cancel like in 4 weeks for I have to know all my numbers by June for June's retreat by mid-December, I think. So yeah. So if you're interested in that, email me on the pattern, email me about retreat. I can get you more information about that too. I got you, Jason. Diane says, add me to the sew along. That's Diane McCoy. And again, I'm assuming that I don't know why a designer wouldn't sell some patterns to somebody. I'm gonna put Katie on here for the PDF. And Carla. Okay, Joe Carmel. No, Maddie, I don't have you on the list if I didn't read your name, so I'll add you. And like I said, I know some people stopped saying add me to the list when they realized that I was over the 7. So I will mention it again tonight just for people that want to see if I can get more patterns. Like, again, if I was a designer, had a pattern, and you were coming straight to me needing 10, 15 patterns, I would be selling you patterns. So it wouldn't be like, oh, that's out of print, I don't do that anymore. No, honey, you need to figure it out. Hello, Chaplain and Cheaton. Oh, Chaplain, Gail Cheatman. I'm sorry. Welcome to the chat. I don't think I've ever seen your name before. Today in this chat, you don't have to be a subscriber to chat with us today. So I'm seeing some more names in here. So welcome to the chat. Ingrid says, T and everyone. She says, hi, T and everyone. Can you add me to the list for your patterns? I think I got everybody's email, like I said, except for the Real Queen T. I'm writing on the back of a invoice. I'm writing down numbers so I can write smaller because I'm running out of space. People keep asking me if I'm going to QuiltCon. At this time, my answer is no. I'll be coming back off of an 18-day cruise, and I don't know if I want to do travel to QuiltCon. Going to North Carolina will probably take me another 12 to 16-hour drive. I haven't clocked it. I just don't know if I feel like doing that, or once I fly for the cruise, doing layovers and coming back home and being on the cruise for 18 days. I don't know if I'm going to be wanting to go anywhere, so we shall see. I did, for the first time ever, probably missed another one time before due to something, but I'm not even going to my large Gills Quilt Retreat. It's normally February President's Weekend. They didn't have that date available. They moved it to March, and I don't even know if I didn't sign up to go to that either. Okay. Hey, Remo JS. Oh, okay. So commuter, email me, and then let me know you want commuter stuff, and then I can tell you what the commuter prices are, because I do have to let them know. Otherwise, I need to cancel that spot. I have 31 people guaranteed for a retreat, and I've got one spot left as a commuter only. Our rooms were all mixed up this year. That's why I'm trying a different facility in 2025. They just got like closet bathrooms. Like it's the size of a walk-in, like not a walk-in closet, like where you just open the closet door and your hangers are there, and they've got the toilet, the sink, and the shower. And so, but how long do we spend in that? The rooms are a good size. It's just the bathrooms are super tiny. So it's just very small, but I'm trying to see if that's a big deal over having more bedrooms and we have more rooms to use, and then we'll be the only one at the facility, whereas at this other one we go to, they mix us with other people. So I'm trying to get people to do a comparison for me on which one they prefer. Lenora Baptiste says, good evening, Miss T and Quilting family. It's been a while. I have not been here, but I am at holidays with my grandchildren in England, so I'm not at home. Awesome. In the TNT. I know where that is, so I am lost with what's going on. So we're just talking about different sew-alongs, and right now I'm not even sure if I can get PDF patterns, but we're talking about this sew-along here starting March 2023. It'll go for 8 months, so it'll end next November. It's already set up as an 8-month block of the month. And so I'm going to see, I got 8 patterns in my possession. I'm going to see if I can get more patterns from the designer. So that's what people are signing up for. You're welcome, Katie. It starts March, Joe Carmel. I'm going to Hawaii. Oh, Greenland Quilter's going. Awesome, girl. Now that's a nice trip to go to the quilt show here in the USA. That's cool. Sue GSD is here, says hello all on this beautiful November afternoon. Rent paid, ring that bell. Yes, and more yes. I'm going to come back tonight. Sue gave me some things for donation for the Quilt Retreat 2024. Some raffle items, so I'll show you all those because she didn't make something for everybody, so I'll show you what that is. When somebody is giving me something for everybody, or we're making deals for everybody because I'm paying for some stuff, or what do you call it, when bartering. I'm bartering with some people. So yeah, so you won't be seeing those type things when everybody gets one, but if it's individual items, then I'll show you that. Claudette donated some stuff that I showed in the Wednesday video. Louis Alfred says, hello, everyone, Miss T. I have paid my rent. Well, thank you. Do you know if you will participate in the Stronger? You keep asking me about that. I don't know. I will see. Email me about what it is that you want us to do if I do that, because I just don't know. With Quilt Retreat coming up, and then having 2 sew-alongs, well, really 3, because I'm still doing Wensleydale, and then we also have the Fabulous, and then the Dresden Village. So I'll be already doing 3 sew-alongs. So let me know what it is that you want me to do, because I have never even done a Stronger Together quilt at all. So let me know what you're talking about, and then I can tell you if I can do it or not. You already Remo, you and Miss Vivian already on the list. Sorry, and you got your Dresden Village patterns already. So you're all right, girl. Don't panic. Those 2 ladies, I have to say, anything that I do, those 2 ladies, they support. And if I'm selling, new fabric orders come in, those 2 ladies support. So thank you, Miss Vivian and Remo JS. Appreciate you. Oh, that's pretty cool. Katie says she's going to be spending time with her daughter and her youngest grand. Hey, Francis Jackson. Welcome to the chat. Remo's reminding everybody to show your love and support and hit that thumbs up button. Thank you. Thank you. Sue, if you're still here, Sue's at work probably. Joe Cormel's asking how many days. We can get that tonight. We'll put it on tonight's video. Lenora says, so would it be able to join in that sew-along that is starting in March? I can put your name down and see if she's willing to sell me a couple of, I got your email information. Lenora Baptiste. I will see if she would be willing to sell me 2 PDF patterns for people that are out of the country. I got Katie interested, and then I have yourself. So I will see on that. I don't have any new patterns. These are just the other ones I showed you all on Wednesday. I'm not, that came in the checker stuff. Those are the ones I've already showed. So no new patterns today. Sue says it's 220 days. She said, I'm off early. Well, good for you, Sue. And Francis is saying, add her. Okay. Because I specifically let everybody know that this Dresden Village was going to be for intermediate people, because finish size of some of these blocks was as small as 3 inches, and some of the largest ones were like 6 inches, if that. And it's a lot of them. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those that's going to be a while. No, we're doing this one, Remo. Fabulous. I didn't order. The other pattern was out of order. It was out of stock, remember? So we just went ahead and chose Fabulous, because I kind of like the other one better for myself, because it has a more intricate center. But that's just, me. The center has 4 little stars in the middle. That's what I liked about this one. Although I do like the black fabric on the background here. And actually, I like this pattern. It's probably be the only time I make a pattern and might use all of their colors. We'll see. I actually love all the quilt colors in here, so that's pretty cool. You're welcome, Lenora. Francis says, I'm just looking for the Dresden Village. Oh, and that's what I keep forgetting. That'll be like $15 to get into the Facebook group. If you've paid it, just send me an email and let me know you've already paid it, and I'll go back and look at your invoices. I think one person paid. And then I need to set that up. That's what I keep forgetting to set up. So let me put over here, maybe on top, since I got all these lists. Oh, and I'm also going to be doing the round robin sew along. So I got 4 sew alongs I'm going to be in next year. So set up Facebook group. Dresden Village. And fabulous. Okay. I haven't set that up. So thanks for the reminder, Francis. Joan E says, T, love your head cover. Need to learn to make one. You know what? I buy these from this girl. Sometimes stuff is a reasonable enough price. I just go ahead and add it in my cart when I'm adding other stuff into my cart. This is the same lady out of Canada that I buy. What do you call it? What do you call it? The wood earrings. And so now my hair looks really crazy, y'all, because I haven't taken it down, but it's actually a lock sock is what it is. So it's like this. And most people, that when your hair is down, well, when your locks are not twisted, you put your locks into here and they just hang down the back like that. It kind of reminds me of when the nuns have the long part hanging. But you can style these hats different ways to wear. And so what I do is just take it. You can just take it and toss it to the side if you want to. And you know how you have a little ponytail, but I just take it and tuck it back into itself. And I'm going to see if I can take my hair down, because I do got to make a few runs today. But this is how I have my hair when I sleep. I'll just wear different caps to sleep in, different caps that I wear outside. So I have a lot. I have a lot of things going on. Yes, Francis is I'm looking at your name now on the round robin list. Talking about we're gonna have some fun. Yes, indeed. And I'm gonna be sending out, because I figured December is a good month for people to start getting their center ready. The max size for your center is going to be 20.5 inches from edge to edge. So that's going to be your max size that you can send to the first person. And I will be sending some information out on that, because I figured Christmas time, people might have a few days off. They can work on that and start thinking about it and getting it planned. But we are having the round robin. I already have those people signed up. I don't have room for new people. I have the people that are required for the rounds, unless like 5 more people want to get into their own separate groups. I don't mind coordinating, but I need enough people to start another group. I got enough to do 2 rounds at this time. Yeah, I got you. Remo, you're already on the list, girl. You're late. I told you I got you taken care of. Tomorrow we want fabulous. I know you do. Gail says, where can I find more info about future sew-alongs? On my videos. Let me just, for the new people here, I'm normally live. Let me give you all my lives. Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do 1 hour live chat. Sometimes I'm doing hauls. Sometimes I'm just talking. Sometimes I might be catching up on some sewing that needs to get done. Sometimes if some type of subject comes up, I might be doing small teaching lessons. I haven't done that in a minute because no major questions have come up. Or if they have, I already have videos that I refer people to for those topics. So that's what I do on Wednesdays. On Saturday, I have live sew-in chat at 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. 2 hours. I'm here normally sewing as I'm chatting, so I wouldn't have already chatted this much and not sewn a stitch by now. But this was one of those Saturdays that was a special Saturday. I have a live where Kevin, the quilter, and we do live sew-in chat for the Wensleydale sew along that we're working on. But I came on to let people know because people don't seem to watch the posts that I put out. They'll be saying, where are you? Sending me emails and stuff. So I decided to come on live anyway, although we canceled for today due to illness or possible illness. And I don't want to get sick. So I'm trying not to get anybody's colds or flu, pneumonias, or anything else that's going around because it's really bad here in the St. Louis area. It's actually been bad since like June, which is unusual for our area. So I just think a lot of people have been traveling and it's bringing it back to us. So mostly my videos, I do have a Facebook group where I post some information. I have not posted these sew-alongs. Most of the time it just goes through my live chats when I'm doing hauls and when I'm live sewing and chatting. So that's where you get most of the information about my sew-alongs, and that's because I have very good followers that come in all the time. And even when I post it in my Facebook group, most times people don't purchase from there. They tend to purchase out of my YouTube side of my business. So, but I will try to make a note to post all the information into my Facebook group. My Facebook group is Teaquilts LLC. It is 3 questions you need to answer so that you can be admitted into that group. If you don't answer them, I just decline your membership because I don't know if it's a spammer trying to get in, and it just makes it so I don't have to sit and watch my Facebook group 24/7 to make sure something that's inappropriate isn't posted in there. So you can join that, and I'll post all information over there. Round robins right now are closed unless 5 people want to sign up. And how do you get it to stay on your head? It's a tube. So it's around my whole head. It's just a tube. It's an elongated, it's a cylinder without the ends. You know, if you have a cylinder that's round, it doesn't have the end. So it's just a tube. And the funny thing for me, the reason why I don't make them is because they don't have any seam in this. So it's like it's heat pressed into this tube or something. I don't know. It has no mark for me to know. It might have a line, but it's very minute. It's not a seam holding this tube together. That's why I like it, because I don't have a seam. Like if I sewed the seam, I don't have a seam laying on my head anywhere, because I can have 1 grain of salt in my head, and I can go in there and feel this grain of salt. I'm that sensitive on my scalp. So I like that they don't have seams on them. I have long hair, but I cannot keep any kind of scarf on. It always slips off. And then like these, as they stretch out, another thing you can do is for styling, but I do it in the back, is I would take it and twist it. And then I would take that twist and tuck it under. But right now it's not doing that. So it's just coming right back out because it doesn't really have any extra. But I'll do that at the back if I need to. I'll take it and twist it and then just tuck it under, and it tends to stay. Oh my goodness, saying it looked like a volcano in Iceland is getting close to erupting. Oh, so mine's just stay on. So I don't know. Maybe put a I'm gonna tell you to put something in it. I don't even want to put a seam in it or something. I don't know. Maybe it's not tight enough. I don't know. I have never made one, so I just buy them because, like I said, for my time and things that I'm doing, I just rather not. So I'm up here making little half square triangles. So let's do just a little bit of sewing, so y'all get a little bit of sewing here tonight. Today, because tonight I'm gonna be working on t-shirt quilts. I'm gonna sew the long sashing pieces on, and I'm gonna sew side borders next, and then top and bottom borders. So that's the other thing I did yesterday, was I was making sure I had something to sew for Saturday night. So I got all those pieces cut. Hopefully everything measures up correct. If not, y'all will end up seeing how I modify and or say, okay, I'll sew this part and leave this flapping so I can add a piece on if it's too short or something like that. So I tried to make sure all my measurements were good, but again, I normally sew my stuff together and then measure as I go. This time I used pencil and paper. I didn't even use EQ8. I'm like, I don't have time for that. Don't have time for any desk work. And so I just got everything measured on paper. Hopefully it's all gonna work, and go from there. So I'm looking at this. I need the other part of the half square triangles to sew. They're not here. Whoops, they falling out the bag, y'all. Just tossing themselves out. They want to be sewed so bad. Yeah. And Gail says she got it. I don't know if she's got the... And I sometimes will put some announcements on my YouTube community page as well. Let me see if somebody's requesting to get in here. This was 2 hours ago, so this is not the one. Just got somebody missed one of the questions, but I'll let them in. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, I see you, girl. I just got an email. All right. All right, here we go. Okay, these have not been sorted. Have these been sorted? Nope. I do have a couple of sets I haven't had a chance to sort yet. All right. So again, I'm working on a sew along with some friends, Kevin and Jason. And I have just been cutting pieces so that, because I'm always behind on everything except for this one, because it's got so many darn pieces. I'm trying not to be behind because of everything else that's going on. So I've just been cutting, and then when I have a Zoom meeting, or if I come on the live sewing chats on Saturday and I don't have anything to sew, I've been sewing various different sections that I have cut. I don't have it all cut. I don't have it all sewn, but I have clue 1 and 2 done, and now I'm just working on an extra clue. So I'm a little bit ahead, but not by a lot. So let me know what projects you all are sewing on today. I don't know if I'm going to stay till 1 or 1:30. I do need to run to UPS today. And I also need to run and drop off a customer's quilt that she doesn't know I need to drop it off, but I must see if she's available. I like to do all of my errands before it gets dark. For some reason, I just don't like driving in the dark if I don't have to. And I don't have to. So I don't. Oh, Remo says she's still finishing up her murder mystery Yellowstone. No, I thought you done November's Clue and was waiting for the December wrap up. Or is there two different sew-alongs or something? Maybe I'm confused. You got two different sew-alongs with them? Judy says, I was working on a scrappy quilt earlier, but now I'm on my way to mail and do some Christmas shopping. Woohoo! I'm not doing one iota of Christmas shopping, and I am not making my family anything. Last year, this time, every video was me making bowl cozies. So, yeah, I am not making another bowl cozy for anybody else. I can't even remember how many I ended up making. It had to be close to 60, 70 of those things by the time I got through. I don't know. It seemed like I was making them forever. And then I made quite a few for myself too. So I took quite a few for myself. Whoever didn't show up, didn't get theirs, it was just so bad, so sad. I kept them all. I even gave some friends some too. Um, oh, so they're two different. Okay. See, I didn't realize that. I'm like, you already posted, girl. Her that one block of the month is really, really pretty. I really love it. And I like that, they're giving you a story with it too. So keeping you entertained as well. You can't wait for the next part to come out. Maddie says she's working on Wensleydale quilt. That's what I should be working on, but I didn't get myself in here in enough time. I was up late quilting. So then I slept late. I didn't wake up to 11. I feed the cat at 8. I heard my husband get up to go to the bathroom, and I said, can you feed the cat, please? Yeah. So I sent him to feed the outdoor cat that I'm feeding so the cat wouldn't be looking, peculiar. Like, these people used to love me. So, yeah. And I just kept right on sleeping. I was shocked when I rolled back over and it was 11. I said, woo, woo, I guess you won't be getting your hair down today. Not this morning anyway. I'll try to get it down after I come off of here. Diane says, I am being lazy and just getting out of bed. Girl, depending on what time you got in the bed too. And sometimes I'm a person that normally functions off 6 hours of sleep. I could even do 5 some days. However, eventually it catches up with me, and I can be in bed for over 12 hours for a few days in a row, catching up on sleep when it finally hits me. So I'm not a judge. I have not been in this room since Wednesday. So I kind of miss sewing on my t-shirt quilts, but I have to do some other stuff too. And then I sent what I had to my customer, and she wanted a little bit of alteration to it. She didn't ask me. She knows that I'm going to be making hers next, and I'm doing hers for free. It was how this all started. I told her I would do a free memory quilt for her husband that had passed. And so she also wanted to commission too for son and daughter. She got more step kids, and she wants to do theirs. So I'm going to be doing theirs later. But she says, when you do mine, can you just put more of his name in the quilt? And I said, oh, okay, because I had just one. She sent me so many t-shirts. I was trying to use as many t-shirts as I could. And she just really want to see his name all over her. So I said, okay, I can definitely do that. So what I did was I had hung up with her, wasn't even thinking. So I went and got the t-shirt stuff back out because I had already put all that stuff up. I went and got it back out, and I said, you know what, I can add 2 of these to the border of each quilt because the insides are kind of pieced. I'm just adding sashings and borders. But I will be adding 2 more of his name tags in his quilt. So I think I just did those 20. So yeah. So then, and I called. I just texted her back and told her that I could do that, and she was like, "Awesome." So I think that's what she wanted. But sometimes people that don't sew, they don't know that we can still figure some stuff out, even if we have to applicate it on at the last minute or whatever. And I think what I might do is surprise them on the back and add one. I don't normally do 2-sided t-shirt quilts, but I probably will add just one of his tags on the back and put it above the label I'm going to make on there. And then I'm going to put one on the back too. So they'll be surprised when they look at the back of the quilt. Carla is doing Yellowstone too. Okay. Judy says, just got to the mail. I will be signing off once my daughter gets parked. Hopefully you're not in the line long. I just have to go to the post office just to check my box. I don't think there's anything in there, but then I said that before and my husband came back with a box. So I just check it anyway. I got to go to UPS while I'm out anyway. Gail says, I responded to the questions. Close off. You didn't even give me notifications. Oh, I don't have my watch on either. Got you, Gail. Somebody else was in here. Oh, that was some Sue just liking the thing. Okay. Close all. And then I got mail. Let's see who's on the mail. I need to plug this phone up. This the real phone. This is the just read the comments phone. I have an iPad that I only use for recording. It's a mess. And this is the real phone. So I'm trying to get to the messages. So I'm just gonna asterisk. I see Gilvietta and also personal. Okay. Trying to make sure, and I'm gonna check. I just checked spam. Nothing was in there, but I'll recheck it. Delete. Got Gilvietta highlighted. All right. All right. um. Sue says I have one tea that's special to me. I can't see because of this dumb heart. Let me see. from 70s. Can I stabilize that and do a round robin to make it a full-size quilt? Would it look weird? No. You can put stabilizer on the back and then just cut it to whatever size. And then if you need to want to add some borders to it, say plain borders or piece borders to get your piece doesn't have to be 20 inches, but if you wanted it to be 20 inches, you could add to it to get more pieces on it if you want, like half square triangles or whatever type of fancy border you might want to put, or just plain borders, or you can just cut the t-shirt out. I would make sure that I at least stay stitch around the edge since it's going to be packaged and traveled. Otherwise, when I stabilize, I don't normally stitch around the edge, but if you're going to leave it right at the edge, then I would go ahead and just stay stitch an eighth of an inch off the edge. That way, if your stabilizer starts to come off while it's in the mail system or something like that, it's got something to hold it in place. And then the person can just re-tack it back down if needed. Because once it's sewed on, it should be okay. That would not look weird. That'd be really cool. You can just cut a square for your center. You don't have to put anything in it. I've seen where people have just put a square in the center, piece of fabric, and then they decide later if they're going to take it out and change it to something else. Sometimes people put a print, like something in the colors they might want to use, and then they might just take it out. I had that happen once. I was kind of shocked to see that. But, you decide then if something else will look better in the center for some people. Me, whatever I get is what I get. I try to, if I don't like it when I get it back, I'll add some more borders onto it to make it so that I like it again. But most times, I've only had to do that once, and most times I just leave them as is. One of these days, when I get down to my basement, I'm going to pull out all my round robin quilts, and I'll do a round robin showing. It'll show what I got back. It won't show the work that I've done, though. And I don't know if I've ever done a video. Maybe I should do a video on round robins and show. I might have pictures maybe I can find somewhere of what I've done on somebody else's quilt. I have to see. And the thing about getting the quilt back, you're going to have 4 borders. So you may have to end up adding some other stuff if you want your quilt to be a particular size. And then there might be a time when everybody add a 6-inch border on your quilt, and you never know what you're going to get as far as size is concerned. So that's the whole thing. Round robin is kind of like participating in a mystery quilt, because you don't know what your thing is going to look like. And it seems like when we signed up, people didn't want to see. They want to wait till the end to see. And that's how most round robins are ran. You get the person receives their quilt top back, and then they post the photo of it showing what came back and from who did what rounds and stuff like that. So I need to set up a group for that, because that's going to be coming up. And you hear me saying I'm setting up groups because I tried setting up a chat for the Wensleydale so I wouldn't have to set up a group. And everybody in the Teaquilts group that wasn't involved in Wensleydale joined. And then they were confused and was hating all the messages. But I'm like, you all are the ones putting the messages here saying that, what is this group? You're the one that's contributing to it. You signed up. I didn't sign you up. So I won't do that. I'll just go back to all these separate individual Teaquilts groups on YouTube. On Facebook. I'm sorry, on Facebook. Because it confused too many people. We had over 1,000 people in Wensleydale when we only had about 15 people sewing at the time. It was pretty funny. And I put up in the comment on the top part that this was only for people that were sewing the Wensleydale quilt. And I had already made posts about Wensleydale, so I figured people would know what it was and, you know, ignore me if you weren't doing it. But no, we had over, and we probably still got quite a few members in there, but we had over 1,000 people in that group. It was hilarious. Oh, she says this will be just for me. Yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize Sue's not even on the list here. I didn't even look. But yes, I have done what I call the one woman round robin. It was after I had gotten the round robin back that I didn't like, and I go, you know what? I was upset. Not like upset with the. I was upset that I didn't like the quilt after it came back. So what I did was I made me a whole round robin, and I put all my stuff that I like on it. I called it the one woman round robin. At the same time, my guild was having a challenge. Um, my favorite things, put your favorite things in a quilt. Well, one of my favorite things is round robin quilts. I love round robin quilts. So I decided to make a one woman round robin, and I put all of my favorite things in there, from flowers to, I like log cabin blocks. Trying to think what else was in that quilt. I like a lot of color, so it was like real jewel tony in color. So I had so much stuff in there that I like. All right. Diane says, what is a round robin? A round robin is when you make a center like this H block. If that's what you want to send, you send that center that's smaller than the requirements. They'll give you measurements on the largest size that it could be, because you don't want somebody to send you a round robin that's 45 inches square already to start, and then you're putting, you know, this quilt's going to be humongous by the time it gets back from all these people adding on borders. So I always do a maximum size your center can be. And so you have people in your group, and then everybody will know your mailing address. If you have a PO box, you can forward that. If you got something else, you can do that. But do know the people in your group are going to have your mailing address, because they got to have a way of mailing it to you when you're not in a meeting. Like normally, sometimes they happen at guilds. You just bring them to the next guild meeting and you physically exchange with the person. So you mail it to the next person. You mail your center to the next person. You normally always mail to the same person, so there's no confusion on who you need to mail your package to. You have a deadline by the end of the month that your thing must be mailed. And so I recommend people get tracking, priority shipping if possible, which it comes with tracking. And then trying to make sure, this is one of those fabrics that's white on white. I got to make sure I'm on the right side. You ship it to that person, and you're going to get a package from somebody else every month. And every month, whatever piece you get, you're going to be adding a border. So you're going to be looking at that. Say they started with, one time I did something weird. I'm going to come back to that. Say they start with a color in people's center. They normally put the colors that they want you to use in their quilt. So say they sending you something that looks patriotic, red, white, and blue. And then you're going to decide from there what type of border should you add to that. So I prefer, if you're in a round robin, for people to do some sort of pieced border. In order for your border to fit and fit appropriately, sometimes you may have to add what's called a spacer border. And a spacer border is a border that you add onto a quilt top to make it so that your border fits on there perfectly without chopping off any of your stuff that you're adding. So I tend to sort of kind of get my center, whichever round I'm on, I get my center. Soon as I get it, I open it up and put it somewhere so I can walk past it and see it all the time. And then I start to develop what it is I might want to put on it for a border. Then once I go ahead and start piecing my border. I try to look at what size, like if all the borders were very skinny borders, I might decide to do a border that's twice as wide as the other borders on the quilt, just to give it some variety there. So you always got to figure out, like, what size am I going to make my units? Or if you got die cutting stuff, what size dies do I have and what can I use to go around this quilt that will look appropriate? So then I start piecing my units that I'm going to put on here for a border. And then once I get them sewed, I start laying them around the center, start doing my calculations, trying to figure out what size spacer borders do I need to make this quilt top get to the size of the finished border I'm about to put on there. So it does take some math sometimes, especially if it's an oddball size. Sometimes you'll get, instead of being an even number, it might be an odd number that doesn't divide well into two, and you've got to do some special calculations to get your piece cut to put them on the quilt top. So that's what I do. And you do that, we're going to do 4 rounds of borders. We're going to do 4 rounds of border. And then that last time you send your package out, you're sending it to the person who started the center. That is your quilt. So you're sending it back to the person who sent it out first. And then you're going to get a mystery surprise of what people did to your quilt top. I used to run a swap group when we had Yahoo groups. It was called T Snowman Swap Group. And we did a lot of stuff. And even though it started out where I like snowmen or snowman blocks. And I would go. That's why I started my group, because I wanted to swap snowman blocks and I wanted them to come from all over. And so once we had done that about 4 or 5 times, I said, do you all want me to change the name of this group so we can start swapping other stuff? People liked the name T Snowman Swap Group. They didn't want me to change it, although we ended up swapping houses and butterflies and signature blocks. I can't even remember all the stuff that we swapped in that group. And we ended because of Yahoo Groups was saying it was going to end. We quit the group way before it ended. But we got to the point where when we told people to use batik fabrics, they wouldn't use batik fabrics. And so then I had to send all their blocks back. And then because I sent all their blocks back, they were upset because they had made all the blocks and they had mailed the blocks, and I'm sending you your blocks back. And you're sending a self-addressed stamped envelope for me to send your stuff back to you. And I just said, you know what? You didn't follow the instructions. It says for you to use batiks. And the people, I had about 5 people in Missouri that was participating. And so I asked them, because I didn't make that decision by myself, because I know I can be a stickler for rules when it comes to stuff like that. So I started asking my quilting friends, like, what would you do? Would you want to receive something like this when it says use batiks only? And every last one of them said no. So I sent it back because some of them were in the group and they didn't want it. So if they don't want it, I'm sending it back. So that's another reason I canceled that group. Hey, Lizette Zayas. I love mystery quilt alongs. That's I do and I don't. I'm one of those people that when it comes to a mystery quilt, sometimes I won't use my best fabric because I've made them and then I didn't like the quilt. And then sometimes when I like the quilt at the end, I'm mad because I used all the ugly fabric that I put in there. Okay. So I'm kind of conflicted. I do and I don't. I need to just go trying to make, well, even when I use my pretty fabric and the pattern is not a good pattern, then I'm upset because my good fabric is in here and it still looks like trash because it just wasn't suitable for that design or whatever. So I get conflicted every time with a mystery. And I do know it's me. I made a mystery one time, decided I was going to do two of them because I had, when I was making quilts for my family, I would make them for the entire house at one time. So it was two brothers around the same age, and I was making two of the quilts, and I didn't like either one of them. I was like, I just don't like this sew along. But I was giving them away. I hurry up and got those quilts completed so I didn't have to look at them. Trying to see where this is going way far. A long time. I should have two more here to separate. Okay. Okay. Lizette says, I've worked around robin through EQ5 many, many years ago. Never got to piece it though. Maybe this year I can get to it this year. Yeah, that'll be really cool. Because like I said, I've done round robins where it was just me by myself. Because it was what I wanted. And I showed you all. Oh, I never did I put that up? No, it's sitting right there, I think. I'm trying to see if this is my quilt from the back of the quilt. Hold on. I still got stuff here from Wednesday's haul, y'all. I told y'all I hadn't been in here, so hope I don't have an avalanche here. Yeah, so this is the round robin that I showed before when we were signing up. I made my center upside down. Let me move this because we don't want any issues with all these pieces. I can't lose one. I lost one before. So in the center, I can't remember what this technique is. Angelina. I used Angelina fibers and used an embroidery machine and just pulled out this one flower and did that. The leaves are fabric. This leaf here is fabric. This is all machine stitching. And then the fiber inside of these tulips are Angelina. Now I remember. So I did that onto a piece of fabric. Then I added scrappy flowers fabrics around here because I'm trying to clue people in that I want this to be a floral quilt. Then I added this border around and then also added this 1-inch finish square. So that was my 20-inch square right there. It ended up being 20 inches. I think I even added 1 inch, so it must have been 16, and I added a 1-inch spacer in muslin out here just to give it space, because with me having all of those seams, I wanted to make sure that my block was nice and flat for the person that got it next. So the first person got this and she understood the assignment. And she used she added a applique floral tulips all the way around. The second person got it, sort of kind of got the assignment, but didn't. Some of the prints in here are floral. Some of them are not, but she did put enough floral prints in here that when you look at this piano keyboard, it does read floral, even though it may not be doing it on the screen. Some of them are very minute flowers. And then the last person got it. We did only 3 people on this one, 1, 2, and 3. The last person got it, and she put peace tulips on the outer edge. So like half of a tulip, kind of like what we did for 4-Star General in a way. And she needed to add this spacer border in order for her border to fit. So that's exactly what she did. Another thing for round robins is I like to document who did what in my quilt. So if you're in a round robin, I hope you all are paying attention. What I did was I just took a big piece of muslin fabric and I appliqued this flower on it. I already called mine's Fantasy Flower, so they knew the name of what my quilt was going to be as well when they got it. And then I put down here center, border 1, border 2, border 3. On the one we're doing, we're going to have 4 borders. And then I put Fantasy Flowers for mine because I used the Angelina. And I put my information, name, city, state, and the date that I made it. And then everybody else, because they saw what I did up here, they followed suit and did the same thing on theirs down, further down. So the Scrappy Tulip border was done by Debbie Spielman out of North Carolina. Pinwheels and Scrappy Strips was done by Pamela Hege out of Michigan. And then Scrappy Piece Tulip border was done by Sarah Jordan out of St. Louis. That's my friend. And then I put down on the bottom, I went back and machine embroidered that it was quilted by me, finished when I finished it. So I'd love to do this because say I decide I want to get this appraised, and maybe I'm just pulling a name off the quilt. Higgy became a famous quilter. I can go get this piece appraised because Higgy's on here, and it might be worth more money than you think for this wall hanger. Now that Higgy is a very popular person now, writing books and all this other kind of stuff. So your value of your quilt changes by the value of the people that did the work on it, as well as the fabrics and what's in your quilt top. It's also the people who worked on your quilt. So yeah, that's the quilt I always have hanging in my kitchen. That's why that one round robin was down. I have no other round robins showing in my house right now. Thank you, Katie. She's reminding people to hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much. Maritza's joining craft says, holla. Are you in Hawaii by any chance? Damali J is here saying hello, Miss T and Quilters, and she says she gave the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. And Gail says, beautiful, just beautiful. Yes, this is a round robin that I like. I like sometimes like people don't really know what you like, and your center is going to depict what people kind of put on your quilt top. And the one that I didn't like that I love now is that I had done a postage stamp. I did a patriotic quilt, and it wasn't a postage stamp, it was a flag, and it was made, I had piece, it wasn't made that way. I did like red, white, and blue crumb pieces and just sewed them together, and then I cut my pieces out of it. I'm gonna have to pull these quilts so you all can see them. And then I cut all my pieces out, and it was applique. The stripes were kind of curvy because it was like you were holding a flag in your hand like this, and then it's just draping down. So it was kind of like that. And so you would see some of the blue up here with the stars, and then the red and white stripes were just coming down, and they were kind of flowy. So I appliqued all of that onto a black background. Now, is it my normal Teaquilts colors? No, because I was looking for a patriotic quilt. The first person, I loved her idea. She took my quilt and made it into a 24-cent stamp, because the 24-cent stamps were notorious for being flat quilts back at that time. That was, I think that was like the probably, I don't want to say the only stamp they had, but it was the most prominent stamp at 24 cents. And that, for some reason, 24 cents, I can't remember now, was a popular cents for the flag. I can't remember now. I have to go back and do my research again. But she took it and she checkerboarded it out to make it look like it was a postage stamp. It was really, really pretty. So I liked hers. And it was, I don't know who else worked on it and what was in there. I just did not like it when it came back. I think I had piano keys and they were, I felt like they were too chunky for the quilt top. Just my opinion. So when I got it back, I ended up adding a border. I think I added fence rails at first, thinking fence rails might help. I didn't like that, but I wasn't taking it off. And then what I ended up doing was I had a fabric that had USA in it. So I took, what I did was I went to my embroidery machine. I made 50 stars, 3-inch square finished, if I'm not mistaken. And then in the center of each star, I put the 2-state abbreviation and I put them alphabetically half up. So sort of kind of like from the third on the sides up and around, and then from the third from the bottom all the way around, and then on the middle sides, because I had more space, 50 stars wasn't going to fit around it completely exact. So I had space left on the side, and that's where I used the small print USA fabric that I had. And then I loved it. It was just amazing. Like sometimes when you get something back, maybe you just need to add a couple more borders to it. And now I ended up loving that patriotic round robin. So, but I will at some point try to show you all that stuff. And I don't see any other comments in here as well. I got stuff flying off my board now. I think I must have hit it with the quilt. Close that. I'm trying to go back and make sure I got everything off of Facebook. Okay. If you haven't already, guys, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button for me. I'm going to sew a few more. Every last one of these I sew early. I don't have to sew later because I need a lot of them. So, whoops. Dropped into my lap. I got every last one of these pieces accounted for. I cannot lose one piece. I lost one of my large half square triangles. I had to piece like 4 or 5 different fabrics together just to cut one half of a half square, one side, like one of these. I had to sew like 4 or 5 pieces of fabric together just to be able to cut it. It was like OM to the G. Don't lose another piece again. And I was out of that fabric. Did not have another piece anywhere. Hey, Linda Williams saying good afternoon. Great information. Piece fell off your board. Yes. Okay. And I put it back up there. This is just, I think I'm going to go. I had made some extra pieces that I cut by accident. I miscounted I thought I needed 70 Wensleydale blocks and it's really 60. So I had already cut out enough for 70. I think I'm going to sew those pieces on there and then I'll just use them on the back or something. Because that was a lot of work to cut that out. I don't think I'm going to make the rest of the blocks because I don't want to make 10 extra blocks, but I'll have those smaller ones I might can put on the back somewhere. Oops, I'm supposed to cut this so I wouldn't have so many pieces on here trying to find it later. Here we go. So, and then the hardest part for me, which is not my fun part of sewing, I like the results of pressing. I just don't like doing it. I will not put anything together that's not, appropriately pressed. But do I like it? No. Is it necessary? Yes. especially when I have a lot of units. If it's just one or two pieces, it's like, who cares? When I have 7,000 pieces, it's like, I think I care. But you can't move on to the next step until it's done. And of course, I'm pressing the seams open because they're half square triangles and it's going to be a lot of them. Um, I thought I saw something come on the screen, but I guess not. I'm trying to use peripheral vision. It failed me. So I'll be back tonight. Again, I'm going to be working on the t-shirt quilts. I'm coming back at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. 2 hours live sewing chat. I got a piece sashing sewn in between the quilt, in between the blocks. And now I'm going to be just sewing straight sashings for the verticals out of one fabric and then using that same fabric to border around. I just decided, you know, I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to do a whole lot of piecing, but I needed a way to add some color in. So I pieced the sashings to add some color. And then I went and bought one piece of 108 backing that was a batik also in a lot of colors. And now I'm going to add that as my vertical sashing and my borders, along with adding some more tags of the person's name, 2 tags on each quilt. But I got everything cut, ready to sew. So I just need to clear this stuff out of here from doing the haul. Because like I said, I came in here like 1 minute before I was supposed to start. And there was no way I can move all this stuff in a minute. I haven't been in here. So, and I do want to test out this batting too. I don't have time to really quilt one of my quilts. If I get some customer quilts done, I'm trying to get like at least 2 or 3 of each person's quilts. Because I got some customers that I have 5 of their quilts. I got 3 of those. So I'll get a couple of everybody's quilts done. And then I'll see if I can put something on here. Because I want to test out this batting. What is it called? Birdie Bird batting. That it's cotton, 100% cotton batting. And it has flannel backing. And it's kind of loosely quilted to it. But they're saying you don't have to base when you're using your domestic machine. I asked her if it will work on a long arm because I am not going to be quilting on a domestic machine when I have a long arm machine instead. And she said she thinks so. So we're going to find out if the batting moves and all of that because it's already stuck to the backing. And I'm going to quilt something where I'm using the flannel as the backing. That means I'm going to have to take off a little bit so I can get it onto my frame because I don't pin thick. I don't use pins. I use leader grips and I can't use the leader grips with the batting already on it because it'll be too thick. It'll stretch out my leader grips. And we don't want that. Although I have an old set of leader grips that are already stretched because I use them for my minky backs. I might could use those. We'll see. I may not have to take anything apart. We shall see. So I'll be giving you an update on my opinion of that. I want to make something with it, and then I want to wash it to see how it washes because they tell you not to pre-wash. It's not going to shrink is what they're saying. So this will be interesting. So if you come back tonight, make sure you have subscribed. I don't know if I see new names chatting with me today. If you want to subscribe to the channel, it will take you a day before you can subscribe to the live chat. The reason why this one isn't like that is because I just impromptu went live. But when I schedule my lives, they have a 1 day you must be a member just to keep the trolls out. And ever since I've done that, I haven't had problems with the trolls. All right. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Okay. Trying to see how many have I done. So this is 4. Yep. So I've done 4. We'll do one more and then I'll get off. We'll do one more set. That'll be 100 of them done. Woo-wee! And then I'll just have to get these 100 pressed. Keeping them all in sets. I need to get plastic bags for the ones that I've already sewn together. I thought I had a plastic bag up here. It's not a big one. Sorry, I hit the mic. But it's better than nothing because I just had it move when I picked it up. So some bag is better than no bag, right? Can't be losing stuff. Especially once it's sewn. Let alone cut. These are sewn. And that's why I'm leaving the other ones on the chain until I go to press them. So I thought I had more than this, but I guess not. I thought I had done more than I thought I did 120 before, but I guess not. I know why, because I sold one test block. That's why. I sold a test block. All right, so those I don't have to worry about losing again. Hey Joyce Baker, how are you? What are you working on today? Or what's your current quilting project? I got to go back and go roll this long arm quilt. I was long arm quilting before I came in here. I went in from yesterday. It was on. I was working on it overnight, and so I did a roll on it. I'm about half. I should be at the halfway point once I do this roll. I should be stitching straight down the middle. So I love to see when a quilt top, when I'm on my long arm, when it lifts off the floor, when it's a bed size quilt, I'd be like, oh yes. Yes. We're getting there. As long as it's on the floor, it's like I'm unimpressed. Hi, Deborah Holloway. I'm just on here sewing some half square triangles I need for a different project. Tonight I will be sewing on t-shirt quilts just for people coming in late. So this is one of those things I'm trying to get ahead because so much is going to happen. Especially, I'm not going to be doing any sewing probably in January. I don't even know why I started Dresden Village in January, but I will be working with that. That might be the only thing I do, and I might not even do the full requirement of what's required to sew. I'll just have to catch up at some other point. Yeah. So we're going to do this last set of, I think it's 20. And then I'm going to quit. I cut extra pieces. I don't know. I think if I lost one of these, I think I was paranoid and cut a couple extra pieces. So if I lost one of the prints, I could go back and finish it. But it's been a while since I've cut them, so I can't remember exactly what I've done. So But I did peel off what I needed so I wouldn't sew the extra ones, because I didn't want to cut extra of this fabric. Which is a very pretty fabric. I like this fabric. It's kind of like a fuchsia color, purplish. Got gold swirls going through it. And it still shows up the gold when it's quilted in. When it's pieced in, I mean. You know what I mean. I got about, I don't know, 4 more to do after this, maybe. And then we're going to end this live. Maybe more than 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi, Janice Miller. She's saying good afternoon, Miss T and Quilters. Yes, yes, and yes. I think I'm having a miscommunication with the people that I'm scheduling the 25 retreat for. I was told originally that I needed to, they were having a board meeting in September to get prices for 2025. And then in his email to me, when I called and left a message because he wasn't at his desk, I told him what I wanted. And then in the email, he's telling me he needs more information to write a contract, which was fine. And then he said that they don't send contracts for 2025 until 2024. And I'm like, but what's the price? I keep asking you, what's the price? I can't tell you all what retreat costs because I don't know what the price, what his cost is. So that's where I'm a little bit confused. I need 2 more. People been asking me, what's the price of 2025's retreat? I have no idea. I haven't been looking. Thank you, Joanne. Yeah, I love this fabric. And this one could have been a spot where I could have made this fabric scrappy, but I liked it so well. It was the last piece that I had. It was just enough to do this quilt top. And I said, I think that's an omen and I want to use it in something that I'm going to keep. And I've been wanting to make this quilt for a while. So, I decided to go ahead and just use one fabric and not make it scrappy. And I think in her instructions, she said use one fabric. But if you're a scrappy person, you can make this scrappy too. So I'm going to cut this off because I need to oil this machine because I didn't oil it. I just sewed today. I need to oil it. So I think I've just pieced 100 back there. And I got all of these other sections here that need to be sorted. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that are sorted. So I got those 8. And I don't know how many are in the sets. 3, look like 3. So 6 is another 14 sets. I got a whole bag of these left. So yeah, I will put this up here, and when I'm bored, I will clip these apart and press them and put them into the bag or another bag if I get a bigger one. And this goes in there too. I'll worry about that later. I had to find my shoe I took off. All right. Hey, Brenda Foley, saying, well, happy Saturday. Yes. So for those that coming in late, Kevin wasn't feeling his best. And number 2, I didn't want to put somebody on screen that wasn't feeling their best. Plus, I don't want to get anything just in case. He's not he's not feeling like bad, but I don't have time to get sick at all. I'm already having sinus issues from the extreme weather changes here going on in St. Louis. At nighttime, I'm wanting heat, and daytime it's hot. So it's kind of crazy what's going on here. So, and my sinuses always reflect that. I've taken medicine, but my nose don't know it. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I'm gonna get off way early. I normally go to 3 o'clock when I'm sewing with Kevin, but I'm gonna take advantage of this. I gotta run to the UPS. I gotta stop at the post office just to make sure nothing's in my box. I'm not expecting anything, but then I'm getting packages for donations for the quilt retreat. So I'm making sure that I'm just checking because I don't want them to send any packages back. And I got to drop off a quilt for a customer. So I want to do all of that before it gets dark so I can be back home. And then I'm also long arm quilting today. So that's what I'm working on. Again, tonight I'm going to be working on those t-shirt quilts. I'm going to be just doing sashing, vertical long sashings, borders, top and bottom on 2 t-shirt quilts. So that's the plan. I may only get 1 done, or we'll see what I get done while I'm chatting with you all. So I will see you all next time. You all stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out.